Good evening and welcome to the 7 o'clock news here on CNC3. I'm Charlene Ramdani.
Good evening, glad you can join us. I'm Samson Nanton.
In the headlines tonight, preliminary assessments put Saturday's flood damage at over $109 million. 3 days later, hundreds still affected in western Trinidad as cleanup operations continue.
Celebrations for Keyshawn Walcott's gold medals spill into the wee hours of this morning. And there's widespread support for the rewards being given to Walcott.
And in sports tonight, the Trinidad and Tobago Olympic Committee apologizes to 4 Olympians overlooked during yesterday's celebrations. We begin with news tonight that over $109 million in damage has been tallied so far from Saturday's rains and floods. The Diego Martin Regional Corporation says this figure is preliminary and is set to increase as more assessment is being done. With 2 confirmed fatalities, Chairman of the Regional Corporation, Anthony Sammy, says the corporation will foot the bill for the funeral expenses and is determined to help residents get back on their feet. Otto Carrington tells us more.
On Saturday, the region of Diego Martin was declared a disaster zone, and since then, relief and support has been given from the Diego Martin Regional Corporation, who have set up an emergency operations center at one of the corporation's offices. But since the disaster assessments are being carried out to determine the full extent of the damage in terms of dollars and cents, Chairman of the Diego Martin Regional Corporation, Anthony Sammy, who is also the incident commander at the Emergency Operations Center, says already losses stand at over $100 million.
Damages incurred thus far is in excess of $109,943,600. These are, of course, preliminary figures to date, and we anticipate this amount to increase as assessments continue over the next few days.
The floods and landslips took the lives of Solomon Brito and Everett Bentham. The corporation now says it will foot the bill of the funeral expenses for both men. A total of 1,112 persons have been deployed and are working around the clock to bring the area back to normal. Mr. Sami says over 12 homes were destroyed among other infrastructure in the region. He says this is another hefty bill which will have to be paid.
The total damage assessment that we have done on 12, there are 12 houses totally destroyed at around $500,000, a total of $98,750,000. And we have 50 homes. Retaining walls were destroyed and needs to be replaced at $500,000. At $100,000, sorry, that gives us $5 million. And to replace appliances like washing machines and beds and fridges and so on, we have 968 homes so affected.
Still, homes are without water and power. The chairman says all is being done to rectify the situation. He compared last November's flooding to last Saturday, but says the response has been extraordinary. However, Sami is advising politicians to put aside petty politics and assist the burgesses who are really affected.
Politicians, citizens, to unite. This is a time when we must come together. Let's work together at this time of catastrophe to help each other. Now more than ever, we need to put aside our differences, whether it be political, social.
Residents who are in need are advised to call the Diego Martin Regional Corporation at their hotlines 221859, 387-0260 or 478-5348 or call the ODPM at 511. For CNC3, I am Otto Carrington.
Well, that's the story which takes us to the Your Vote question tonight. We want to ask you, are you satisfied with the relief efforts so far in Diego Martin and Western Trinidad following Saturday's floods? Text your response to the number 2623. If your response is yes, you're texting the letter Y, and if it's no, the letter N. We'll give you an update on the voting as we go along in tonight's newscast and the final results at the very end. Well, the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Management is warning citizens to pay attention to persons selling basic goods and services. This in light of the severe weather which has impacted Trinidad and Tobago over the last few days. In a release, the ODPM says citizens, especially those affected, are to be careful of some people offering goods and services such as food, water and cleaning services, as these are all available through the municipal corporations and other government agencies. The ODPM is asking the public to contact the emergency call centre at 511 if they or anyone is in need of assistance or if they want to render assistance. The Trinidad and Tobago Red Cross Society has intensified its disaster relief donation drive in order to provide food, supplies and assistance to those most affected by this weekend's rain and flooding. According to a statement, the Red Cross says several companies have already launched staff appeals for the provision of clothing, food items and supplies to affected persons. Other corporate bodies have partnered with the Red Cross to supply goods and services in support of the recovery efforts. In addition, telecommunications provider Digicel has activated a text-to-donate platform on behalf of the TTRCS Disaster Relief Fund and has also issued free credits to the mobile accounts of several TTRCS volunteers working in the field. The Red Cross says those unable to physically assist can make donations of canned food and supplies, which the TTRCS will distribute in concert with the Ministry of the People and Social Development, ODPM and the Diego Martin Regional Corporation. Contributions to the TTRCS Disaster Relief Fund can be made via Digicel's mobile network. Text to 2671, that number 2671, with each text donating $10 and deposits to any Republic Bank account number. And there you see it on your screen. It's 180-466-501801. And it's on the screen there, so be sure to write it down. In other news now, Chairman of the Ansa McAl Group of Companies, Norman Sabga, says the group is prepared to settle all insurance claims that will arise from Saturday's flooding in Diego Martin, Glencoe and Maraval. Ansa McAl is a parent company of Trinidad and Tobago Insurance Limited, TATL. Responding to members of the media today, Mr. Sabga said the group does not expect any heavy losses from these payments.
We're expecting quite a few claims coming through, which we will try to address and settle as quickly as possible, because everyone will need to bring their life back to normalcy. And we are very heartened by the photographs and the amount of flooding that has actually taken place. We don't envisage our claims being hugely significant in terms of our bottom line, because quite a lot of it is reinsured. So the effect to us will be would be quite small.
A 49-year-old gardener was found hanging from a tree this morning, hours after he went on a rampage, killing his estranged wife and chopping his son and daughter-in-law. Police say Patrick Steve Paris was found hanging from a tree behind his house by one of his sons this morning. Paris was wanted by police for allegedly stabbing 43-year-old Julie Paris to death and chopping his son, 22-year-old Brian Paris, and his 20-year-old common-law wife Lucy at their Navet village home. Julie died at the scene while the young couple remains at hospital. Police say the 43-year-old woman took out a restraining order against the man after alleged abuse. We now join Astel Wren. He's here in studio to tell us what we can expect coming up in our sportscast a bit later on. Astel.
Well, thank you so much, Charlene. Well, we continue with the Kishomania. Well, this time, the gold medalist, he recounts that gold medal performance. And we also have a grand send-off for the Paralympic athletes. They are going to London to start their campaign also. And we hear from the special advisor of the Trinidad and Tobago Boxing Board, Box Supers. He has issued a challenge to car dealer Toyota. All next when I come back. Charlene, it's over to you.
Kishon Mania, it certainly is in full gear there, Astel. All right, well, let's continue the news now with Samson. He's right here, as you can see, to bring you some more. Samson.
Yeah, and we're going to bring you a lot on the Kishon Mania when we come back from the break. But before that, we want to find out what's your vote tonight on this particular question. Are you satisfied with the relief efforts so far in Diego Martin and Western Trinidad following Saturday's floods? You can vote by texting to the number 2623 Y if you want to vote yes, and N if you want to vote no. We'll give you an update as we go along. And of course, the final result comes up at the end of tonight's news. And we also want you to vote to determine who was the most influential person in Trinidad and Tobago over the last 50 years. Every night, we unveil one of the 50 most influential personalities from the year of our independence in 1962 right up to present day 2012. You can also vote via text to the number 2623. And I did promise some Kishon Mania coming up just after the break. We'll tell you that 24 hours were not enough to celebrate gold Kishon Walcott celebrations. They spilled into this morning, the wee hours of this morning. We also asked you what you think about the rewards to the Olympian, and the response is unanimous support. And coming up later, we tell you that Answer McCall's it has recorded over $283 million in after-tax profit for the first half of 2012. These stories plus a lot more when we come back from this break.
I want it, I want it, I want it, I want it, I want it. Blue and gold, blue and gold. You bet is Karen.
Getting as accurate a prescription as I possibly can is important. So even before your exam with me, we'll perform pre-screening with you to take readings about your eyes that can help me identify possible problems that we can act on. Regular visits for professional eye care services are important to your life. It's more than just an eye exam. It's having good vision. It's having peace of mind. At Value Optical, we are dedicated to helping you have that peace of mind always.
Guardian Media Limited. Empowering and connecting with more consumers than any other media. We engage you with over 850,000 people every day.
Guardian Newspaper. CNC3 Television.
TBC Radio Network.
Inspirational Radio 7:30 a.m.
951, the best mix.
Slam 100.5 FM.
Vibe CT 105 FM, the nation station.
The superstation Sangeet 106.1 FM.
Akash Vani 106.5 FM.
Like us, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and www.guardian.co.tt.
As the news continues, yesterday's public holiday did not have enough hours to celebrate Kishon Walcott's gold medal achievement at the 30th Olympiad in London. The celebration spilled well over into this morning, and despite having to wait for more than 9 hours to catch a glimpse of the 19-year-old gold medalist, citizens did not mind. Walcott spoke to members of the media during the early hours of this morning, saying he was grateful and overwhelmed by the tremendous outpouring of support. Our team of Chester Sambrano and Timothy Chasto followed the motorcade to Toko, and Kamal Georges reports.
After an 8-hour flight from London, a near 12-hour motorcade, Kishon Walcott finally arrives in his hometown at around midnight on Monday. But the day was nowhere near its end. It was his community's turn to celebrate with their hometown boy.
I've been here since 2 o'clock this afternoon. I'm so excited just to be part of this crowd. This is history making in Togo. I'm so proud to be a Trini man.
Listen, I was crying since Saturday. I was that excited. I was that thrilled for the country and for him. As a young man who has many more Olympics in front of him, I was really elated.
But before Kishon touched down on home soil, the rest of the country waited anticipatingly for a brief moment with the Olympic gold medalist. Citizens, both young and old, lined the streets. Carnival had come to communities like Valencia.
Just do the best for the country. I appreciate that guy. And Valencia, big him up. Love Tobago. Thank you, government. Thank you, government. We love you. We love you.
But adoration for Kishon extended way beyond these shores.
Mr. Walker was such a nice guy, and he would stand on the picture with everybody. I have it on my phone. So does my wife. I'm on the picture with your gold medalist, and fantastic gold medal.
By the time he spoke to reporters close to 3 a.m. on Tuesday, he had one thing on his mind.
Rest.
Overwhelmed and exhausted, Kishon expressed gratitude for the gifts he received from the state and the outpouring of love and support from everyone.
I'm just thankful for everything. I really wasn't looking forward to all the gifts and so on, so I'm just thankful for what I received. I'm thankful for the support. Everything's great. The people came out, I guess they stayed here like 9 hours because we took really long to come up here. So I'm just grateful that they stayed. We're going to celebrate with them.
For CNC3, I'm Kamal Georges.
Well, the gold medal phenomenon, Kishore Walker's spoils of victory have earned him further international attention. Yesterday's historic and joyous national holiday to celebrate Kishore's achievement has not gone unnoticed by the international media. Well, members of the public are in full support of the gifts from the state bestowed on Olympic gold medalist Kishore Walker, but many saying the young athlete is worth every penny. We have more from Rhea Rambley.
It's been a whirlwind experience for Olympic gold medalist Kishore Walker. His life changed immediately upon his arrival at the Piarco International Airport. Prime Minister Kamla Persad announcing that this country's second ever gold medalist will be handsomely rewarded with millions of dollars worth of gifts. He's just 19 years old and already Walker is what some will call a millionaire. But for the athlete, his victory was never about the money, making it clear as he touched down at his Toko hometown, it's not a term he appreciates.
Don't ask me about that millionaire in a matter of minutes. I won't answer you about that.
The gifts will cost the state a considerable sum, but according to taxpayers who will foot most of Walcott's reward, there can be no price tag on the national hero's achievement. For all agree, he is worth every penny the state has promised to spend in his honor.
I think that was reasonably enough is because that in how much years that we didn't have a goal in our country.
I find he deserves it. He worked hard and as a result, he gave what he deserves.
The blessings that he gets, once he uses it to do the right thing with it.
Well, I think it was very good because he wasn't looking forward for those things and he received them.
I thought that it was reasonable.
For CNC3, I'm Rhea Rambley.
Well, it's time now for our regular Tuesday night segment, Know Your Rights. And if you're tired of bad and poor customer service like I am, you may want to pay close attention because tonight we will tell you what you can do to ensure it ends.
Ever found yourself fuming, in tears, or simply disgusted after making a purchase at a store and encountering a rude, insolent, or discourteous customer rep? If the answer is yes, then you have been a victim of bad or poor customer service. As a customer, it is your right to receive proper and reasonable quality of service. It is also a major breach of contract when a supplier does not fulfill their obligation to quality service. But instead of sulking over poor service, there is something that you can do. Report it. Firstly, you can report it to the store's supervisor or manager. This report should be both verbal and written. In making your complaint, be sure to detail accurately what you experienced and the attitude of the customer rep. Also, copy your receipts to show that you made the purchase at the store. But in your complaint, also indicate that you would like a response and the issue regarding poor service resolved. A reasonable time frame is between 7 to 14 days. If, however, the supervisor or manager fails to address the issue, you can forward another letter to someone higher in the company or head to Consumer Affairs to report it to ensure the appropriate action is taken. Remember, quality service is a right and a must.
Well, it's time now for What You Saw, where we highlight the photos and the video you send us. The address news@cnc3.co.tt.
and a picture sent to our Facebook page. 7-year-old Jabez Andrews, a student of the San Fernando Boys RC School, ran quickly to wear his red and black school bag to stand tall and proud and lustily sing the nation's national anthem at his Bayview La Romaine home as it echoed at the London Olympic Stadium after Keyshawn Walcott secured gold in the men's javelin event.
Yeah, you too can send us your video and your photos. The address news@cnc3.co.tt. Charlie, I want to go back to that story you did on the international recognition. I saw a headline that said free lighthouse given to Keyshawn Walcott. Certainly not accurate at all, but I mean, it's good to see that the international media recognizing, how Trinidad and Tobago celebrates.
I was quite surprised about the extent of the coverage. I mean, they've mentioned other countries, they've had a couple pictures, but the majority of the pictures were from Piarco yesterday on a couple of the websites. And he's gotten almost like sole exclusive coverage. They've not singled out any other athletes but Keyshawn and the celebrations here in Trinidad. So we reach in a week.
Over to you, Charlene.
All right, Samson, thank you very much. Let me remind you of tonight's Your Vote question at this time. The question we're asking you to vote on tonight is, are you satisfied with the relief efforts so far in Diego Martin and Western Trinidad following Saturday's floods? Well, remember, you're texting your response to the number 2623. If your response is yes, you're texting the letter Y, and if it's no, the letter N. We'll give you an update on the voting after the Sportscast with Astil and the final results at the end tonight. We move right across now to Astil. Brent, he has your sports coverage. Astil.
Thank you so much, Charlene. Well, coming up in this evening's sports coverage, the TTOC officials say, I'm sorry to 4 returning Olympians after Monday's reception at Piarco International Airport. Grand send-off for Paralympic athletes through the London Games. And Keyshawn Walcott recounts his gold medal performance. Soca Warriors face Canada in a friendly tomorrow. And the Amateur Boxing Association to honor those who have assisted the sport over the years. All next on Sport.
Was known to Trinidad and Tobago as Auntie K. However, she was a woman of many talents who had been a medical student, a pianist, a singer, a dancer, a teacher, an actress, and an alderman in the Port of Spain City Council. As a successful actress, she starred alongside Paul Robeson in London in 1935 and in the film Debt of Honor with Leslie Banks in 1935 as well. She chose to return home and serve the budding nation's children. Auntie K was a media pioneer whose Children's Hour was broadcast on Radio Trinidad every Sunday for 43 years between 1942 and 1985. She traveled throughout the country seeking out contestants. The program provided much-needed exposure for talented children at that time and was a stepping stone for many of the nation's future performers. In 2006, the Trinidad and Tobago Publishers and Broadcasters Association posthumously honored her with an award for excellence for her contribution to the media, in particular for her work with children in Trinidad and Tobago.
The 50 most influential personalities since independence. We want your view via text on Facebook and online at 50tt.guardian.co.tt.
stream, share faster than ever before on Digicel's super-fast 4G network. It's summer in 4G. Get your smartphone with a smart plan on the smartest network in TNT. Sign up for our newest postpaid smart plans now. Plus, for a limited time, get 1 month subscription free and 4G smartphones for $199. Be extraordinary. Digicel.
Get to the head of the class with Shelter back-to-school shoes. The most durable back-to-school shoes in TNT with real leather uppers and stitch outsoles from just $164.99. Plus, get 1 pair of socks free with every pair purchased. Shelter available exclusively at Detour.
Feel the rhythm with Casey Candy Sweet Pan. This selected package filled with delightful Casey candies. Experience this sweet mint sensation for generations. Our souvenir of Trinidad and Tobago. So take home a Sweet Pan today. Casey Candy, we do make every moment sweeter. Call 636-2360 to place your orders now.
When you cross the stand-up pouch with a resealable spout, what do you get is the extreme convenience of the Swiss pouch.
No mess, no stress. The all-new Swiss ketchup pouch is here. It's time to catch up to the spouch today.
Ooh, can't concentrate. Can you pause it? I need to go to the bathroom.
No worries, go.
Let's see what he has recorded here. Street Dogs, 101 Dalmatians, Scooby-Doo.
Sex and the City.
Done. Man, you got a nice letterbox.
What letterbox?
My letterbox?
With DirecTV Plus, it's possible to record all your favorite shows and movies for just $239 a month. You can replay, pause, and rewind all your favorite shows, plus record more than 100 hours of television. Call us now at 672-8111. With DirecTV, everything is possible.
The Trinidad and Tobago Olympic Committee has issued an apology to 4 of the athletes who returned home from the 2012 London Olympic Games, along with cyclist Jacine Phillip and gold medalist Kishona Walcott on Monday. The apology is extended to Michelle Liai, 110 hurler Michael Thomas, Rhea Thomas, and Marshall Sidenio. According to the release issued by the Secretary General of the TTOC, Brian Lewis, the apology is for what transpired during the welcoming reception at the VIP lounge at Piarco International Airport. The release went on to say, your commitment and contribution to the harmony, togetherness, team spirit, and the Trinidad and Tobago host historic 2012 performance were exemplary. The release also stated, quote, as such, any embarrassment that may have been endured by you and your family is regretted. Kishon created history, and his achievements are deserving of the highest commendation and accolade. It is understandable that given the outpouring of emotion and celebrations, that unattended situations may occur, unquote. Well, these countries will break with a 28-year absence when the Paralympic Games of the London 2012 gets going in 2 weeks' time. BPTT, the official sponsor for the National Paralympic Committee, held a grand send-off for its representative Carlos Green and Chantal Ince today. Just 2 days ago, the Games of the 30th Olympiad came to an end. But in 2 weeks' time, the 14th Paralympic Games will be opened. Shot putter Carlos Green and swimmer Chantal Ince will carry the flag for this country in London. Both were present today at a luncheon held by the official sponsor.
BPTT is proud to facilitate the family members also being in London with these athletes. Both parents for Chantal and Carlos's wife, Marcia, being in London with them as they participate in London.
But BPTT's involvement in local Olympics and Paralympics does not stop there. According to the company's regional president, Norman Christie, the idea is for this country to compete with the best in the world at the best competitions in the world.
I just had the occasion to experience what went on with the Olympics and saw the support that went with that endeavor, and I can tell you it will be no less for the Paralympics because of the amount of passion and pride that we feel.
The last time this country participated in the Games was back in 1984 in New York and won 3 medals, 2 gold and 1 bronze. President of the Trinidad and Tobago Paralympic Committee, Kenneth McKell, believes with all the success TNT have been recently enjoying, sport in this country is finally heading in the right direction.
We deliver a sport that is all inclusive. And what we are demonstrating to the world, and they are taking heed, that we are presenting both as a small nation, an Olympic team and a Paralympic team.
And before embarking on a marathon motorcade on Monday, CNC3 managed to catch up with TNT's Olympic javelin champion, Keyshawn Walcott. The soft-spoken 19-year-old recalled that fateful Saturday where he stunned the world's best to capture the coveted gold medal. Jassy Marique has more details.
We have a new Olympic champion. He's the 19-year-old from Trinidad and Tobago.
This moment now well documented in the annals of TNT's Olympic history. A 19-year-old from nowhere able to capture the men's Olympic javelin gold. It led to widespread jubilation and unbridled celebration right here at home. Politicians sung him praises. Family members adorned him, the man they once knew as a boy slinging bamboo shoots on the beaches of Toko. But for Keyshawn Walcott, yesterday's welcome was quite surreal, an emotion which dated back to Saturday at London's Olympic Stadium.
Throughout that competition, I was relaxed. I wasn't really paying much attention to the competition because I told myself making the final was good enough for me. At age 19, I went out there just to do my best. So when I went out, my first throw, I was surprised at the distance. Leading up to my second throw, I was just like, okay, I'm going to throw again. Hopefully I get a personal best again. And I did it. 84, I never thought that 84 will win the Olympics because throughout the years that I've been watching the Olympics, there have been higher aims that guys have been throwing further. I know the guys were experienced, so it was a bit frightening for me.
The pride and joy of Toko reiterated his utter shock at being able to beat the world's best.
I achieved my goal first the month before at the World Juniors. So going into the Olympics, going out there, win a goal, my mind was just going all over the place because I was surprised. I surprised myself. I knew I surprised a lot of persons. So I don't know, really.
But in his typical, almost nonchalant style, Walcott says that he has quickly recognized that he is now the top dog.
Everyone knows it's already gone, so it's all look to the future. There's more Olympics to come, there's more World Championships, and now that I'm a senior, I'm just going to go out back and train. It's all about training. I was training throughout the year. I've been training normal, so I'm just going back to that, sticking with me and my coach. I know there are going to be a lot of expectations for me now, so I'm just going to have to live with it.
Reporting for CNC3 Sports, I am Jassy Marique.
Well, before Keyshawn's heroics on the penultimate day of the Olympic Games, all of this country was going crazy for a certain cyclist. Jacinth Philip did nothing but enhance his reputation as one of the world's best as he placed 4th in the sprint event and 7th in the carrying in London. But he says while watching Walcott's golden moment, it made him yearn to be much more of one of the best. He's targeting Rio as his swam song.
The young man definitely deserves it, you know what I mean? Just seeing the country step up and support him like this in a major way is great. You know, I think he broke the curse, you know what I mean, to bring back that gold medal. I mean, the camp, everybody's just so happy. I mean, all the athletes, and, you know, I feel very, very proud, you know, to see that, you know, a country guy like himself, you know, so humble. And, you know, really, really proud of him for just setting that bar, you know, for us youngsters.
Jacinth Philip was just one of thousands to acknowledge TNT's newest member of the Golden Boys Club, a fraternity the Western Hemisphere's fastest cyclist is hoping to one day become a part of.
No excuses for me. I had a great time just being on the Olympic circuit. And I did my best, you know, and I came up forward, and it just makes me more hungry. That shows me that I'm closer to all the guys in the world. So, you know, 2016, we see how it goes.
Philip managed to capture the support of the Olympic cycling velodrome, and he explained to us just how.
You know, just doing my thing, adding a little Trini flavor to the velodrome, and the crowd definitely liked it. So, you know, just out there having fun.
Reporting for CNC3 Sports, I am Jassi Merik.
Well, this country's senior Soca Warriors will take on Canada in an international friendly tomorrow in Florida. Well, we caught up with the team departing as they spoke with Jassi Merik just before they leave Piaku International Airport.
This was a sight all too familiar for 2006 Soca Warriors, but memories of their own heroes' welcome has since been tarnished almost beyond recognition. 2 World Cup qualifying campaigns have since come and gone, and now in the middle of administrative turmoil, Hudson Charles is the latest coach to receive the baton of responsibility.
We've been in the doldrums for a while, right? And with a good performance and a good result, you know, I didn't really look into to strengthen my position, but I really want to see Trinidad and Tobago reach a certain level, right? As I said, we're down in the doldrums, so I think the only thing we can do is probably go to the top.
The most immediate focus is the Digital Caribbean Cup in September, and this fixture versus Canada, the first since February and second this year, is hopefully the first in a string of matches needed between now and then.
I don't expect much difficulties because most of the guys that I selected, they came out of the last campaign. So that was the whole thinking behind it, to get them back together.
11 foreign will combine with 11 locally based pros, and the senior man in the team, goalkeeper Jean-Michael Williams, has only one thing on his mind.
The expectations of the country is always usually high. More so at a time like this where national pride is at the highest with the efforts of the guys in the Olympics. Most of the national players, the ones that involved heavily with the national team and those that are in or out, I think that they have a banker, so to speak, with the Digital Cup, because it's a competition that we are quite capable of winning, but we haven't done so in the past couple attempts.
Reporting for CNC3 Sports, I am Jassi Merik.
The Amateur Boxing Association has decided to honor those who have worked to promote and elevate the sport over the years. As at today's news conference, the president of the association, Cecil Ford, spells out the plan to pay tribute to those former fighters and administrators. The first leg of the function, which will be done in conjunction with an 8-bout amateur card, is in San Fernando.
We're starting off in the Southland, where we will be honoring 50 of past and present administrators, sponsors, boxers, all those who helped the sport in the Southland to bring it to where it is today and to bring boxing to where we are right now. You know, so we want this to be known. It will be held on the promenade, Harris Promenade, from 3 p.m. on Friday, 17th.
Well, chairperson of the Boxing Board of Control, Annabelle Davis, endorsed the program, stating it's all in keeping with the board's plan to bring a better understanding and the expansion of the sport.
We hope, of course, to actively turn that new page by bringing on and promoting all our new programs, which we'll be rolling out in September, together with the Amateur Association, which will be our community programs, the talent identification and gym identification projects, the school projects, which have been endorsed by Minister Dukoto, and of course, big thanks to him. He's one of the persons to be honored for having done exactly what we have all wanted, which is to get school boxing in schools as part of the curriculum.
And Special Advisor to the Trinidad and Tobago Boxing Board of Control, Boxu Potts, is calling on car dealer Toyota to extend its corporate hand to gold medalist Keyshawn Walcott by donating a vehicle to the athlete. Potts added they have done it in the past, and he sees no reason why it cannot be done again for the outstanding athlete.
Tell Toyota don't take the money and pay for airtime for you to malign sportsmen and women in this country. Put your money where your mouth is. Buy a Lexus Jeep for the boy and give it to him. And show me that you mean good to the young sportsmen and women in Trinidad and Tobago.
Well, on that note from Boxu Potts, it's the end of our sportcast, and I hand you back to Shannon.
Ending on a rather energetic sort of note there, Astil. All right, thank you very much. Let me give you a status report on your vote at this time. The question we're asking you to vote on tonight is, are you satisfied with the relief efforts so far in Diego Martin and Western Trinidad following Saturday's floods? Well, so far 93% of you have voted in yes, you are satisfied, while 7% of you have so far voted no. Well, remember, you still have a chance to get your vote in before the end of tonight's newscast. Coming up just ahead on the CNC3 News tonight, Ansa McCall records over $283 million in after-tax profits for the first half of 2012. Stay with us to find out all the details.
And increase.
Check this.
I stuck in traffic.
B-Mobile, TNT's #1 mobile network.
Independence Day is special. So at Subway for the whole month of August, the treat's on us. That's right. When you buy any foot-long Subway sandwich during August, we will give you a treat free. Choose from any of our decadent offerings. Cookies, muffins, brownies, even Soldanza chips. So stop by any of our 42 Subway stores for your next foot-long and let us treat you. Happy Independence Day. Subway. Fresh.
This really want back, you can depend on friendly service every day. This really won't stand it out, treating you like you deserve to be. Yeah, Republic is only the best to you. We get personal attention, so explain for your inspection.
When I was little, I stuttered so bad and was really embarrassed by that. The teacher always used to call on students in the class. I'd be sitting there like, please don't call me. I'm gonna read it, I'm gonna stutter, everybody's gonna laugh at me. Shaquille, would you like to read page 19? Just be like, I'll take the 0. You know, I still stutter to this day, but I'm more cool with it now. Like if I get ready to stutter, I'll just give you to throw you off balance. My name is Shaquille O'Neal, and I'm definitely comfortable in my own skin.
Modern life can be demanding on your eyes, from outdoor to indoor, professional to sporting activities, to long hours on the computer. LensTech at Ferrera Optical gives you up to $800 off premium lenses with frames to suit your lifestyle needs. Offer ends September 15th, only at Ferrera Optical.
Mrs. B is happy. She's happy because she knows every bottle of Smolta is filled with B vitamins, ideal for growth, concentration, and vitality. Give them their B's. Smolta, because you love them.
Smooth in, frizz out. Suave Professional's Keratin Infusion Shampoo and Conditioner is infused with keratin. It controls frizz for up to 48 hours. Salon proven to smooth as well as Kerastase Ban Oleo Relax.
For a limited time only, with every purchase of $50 and over, you can get your very own KFC Beach Bucket and Shovel for just $15 more. KFC, so good.
We now go to Eric Mackey for your weather. Eric.
Thank you, Charlene. Well, we had a lot of rain over the weekend, and it's all gone away now. There's an approaching tropical wave, though, and it's got an area of disturbed weather up at the top of it. These two systems have actually separated now. They were worked together further out in the Atlantic. This came off of the African coast last week. It's a very active tropical wave, and very close attention was being paid to it because it was thought that it may develop into a major system. But it struggled coming across the Atlantic. It got into the area of cold water, then it got into the area of dry Saharan air, and it's really been struggling. But now it seems to be getting into more favorable conditions, because between yesterday and now, this has gone from a 10% chance to a 50% chance of development. Whatever happens with it, it will not affect us all the way down there. That's going out possibly towards the US, or maybe just stay out in the Atlantic and burn itself out. So we'll see what happens with that. The tropical wave, in the meantime, has very little moisture associated with it, but as it gets closer to us, it's possible that it may spring up. Say, clouds may develop, and we'll see some rain and showers off it, but that's about it, nothing more than that. There's a fair amount of dry air around at this point in time, so we'll see some sunshine tomorrow morning and possibly 1 or 2 showers tomorrow afternoon, and maybe an isolated thunderstorm, but nothing of any real significance. No weather like what happened on the weekend in the forecast at this point in time at all. The wind's going to be around 10 to 15 knots, gusting to 18, and out to an east to east-southeasterly direction. The seas are forecast to be 1.5 to 2 meters with a 7 to 8 second interval between the swells. Out to an east, northeast to easterly direction, in the Gulf of Paris, seas will be around 1 meter or less. Trinidad tonight's forecast to be partly cloudy with an isolated shower. Tonight's will be 24 degrees. Tomorrow we're looking at mostly sunny conditions at first, but it will become partly cloudy midday into early afternoon. 1 or 2 showers in that. There's a chance of an isolated thunderstorm. Tomorrow's high forecast will be a hot 33 degrees. Crossing Tobago tonight, partly cloudy, an isolated shower, low of 24. Tobago tomorrow, partly sunny, isolated showers over there, chance of a thunderstorm and a high of 31. The sun's going to rise at 5:56 a.m. and sets at 6:24 p.m. And the first high tide for Port of Spain will be at 2:03 a.m. and for Scarborough 1:42. And the first low tide 8:50 a.m. for Port of Spain and 8:31 for Scarborough. And that's my weather report for now. We'll have a look at the travelers forecast and we'll take a short break, and when we come back, Charlie and some more news here.
You're talking to your best friend when
you're going to clean their family.
You get cash back.
Yeah, darling.
You're talking to your best friend when you realize you're always a winner. You're talking to your best friend when you get a makeover. You suddenly feel like dancing. Every dog gets its day. You have your cake and eat it too. Night falls. You're talking to your best friend. Whatever else happens, always get extraordinary value with Digicel. Get $1 cash back for every paid minute on local Digi-to-Digi calls made during the day, so you can talk more at night. Be extraordinary. Digicel.
There's one in all of us. Don't drink and drive. Designate a friend so you can lime again. Be the one. A message from the Trinidad and Tobago Beverage Alcohol Alliance.
It's gonna be a great day. Got my ginseng up, hey. Let's focus, people. Come on and get it sorted. Get more out of your day. Get things done efficiently. Let's go with it. Come on and just drink it, people. Drink it up now. Drink it up now. Ginseng up now. Ginseng up now. Oh, enjoy the new look and same great taste today. Ginseng up, the root of all power.
We're testing new Degree, the only antiperspirant activated directly by movement.
Activating protection, Bear.
The more you move, the more it works. New long-lasting Degree with motion sense. Not me! Keep running.
Justin never had a lot of toys. His bike was basically all he had. He rode that bike and rode that bike and rode that bike. Now look at him, speeding all over the world representing his country. I'm proud of my son making local history, even making world history. What are you proud about? Tell us on Twitter by tweeting to #I4TNT.
Where there's love for country, there's energy. Where there's energy, there's BPTT.
Welcome back. The Ans Macau group of companies is tonight reporting a decline in its profits for the first half of the year over the same period last year. But its executive chairman, Norman Sabga, says it stems from one-off costs that would not recur and will not affect the group's balances going forward. The group's after-tax profits for the first 6 months of this year stand at over $283 million. Samson Anton tells us more.
Revenue in the Ans Macau group of companies has increased to over $211 million in the first half of 2012 compared to the same period last year. It's a 9% increase, $2.69 billion by June 30th, but profits are down 13%. Chairman Norman Sabga attributes this to one-off payments within the group.
We have made one-time provisions in our Barbados business, our Barbados financial business, where we made $45 million in provision in our financial sector. And also, because of the economy in Barbados and the difficult position, we have decided to merge our two distribution companies, and the severance payments of that merger is $10 million. Both of those costs are non-recurring.
Furthermore, he says the group has decided to address a big debt.
We have decided to repay our debt. We've actually repaid a $780 million bond. And as a result, our gearing is down to less than 1%, 0.7%. It's the lowest in the last 10 years.
That done, Mr. Sabga sees the rest of the year as good, since none of these payments will recur and will not affect profits going forward.
We now take a short break. Stay with us.
Tough on sweat. Not on skin. Get powerful 48-hour sweat protection plus quarter moisturizer technology only with Dove Men Plus Care deodorant. Feel the impact of freshness. New Dove Men Plus Care Aqua Impact Deodorant.
The giant African snail is present in Diego Martin. If you live in the following areas, you may have this pest in your yard or surroundings: West Moorings, Goodwood Gardens, Victoria Gardens, Zeb Ben Avenue, Alice Glen, Alice Heights, Chimamonka Avenue, Jasper Avenue, Wendy Fitzwilliam Boulevard and surroundings, Blue Range, and along the Diego Martin River. If you see the giant African snail, take action immediately. Call the hotline at 646-6284 or email a photo to snailreport@gmail.com. A message from the Ministry of Food Production, Land and Marine Affairs.
Completed dreams bring a lifetime of happiness. Lifetime Solutions can make it all real. With windows, doors, and roofing styles, you can choose your design. Just tell us your budget and we'll find the right fit. We are innovation ahead of the game. So affordable, Lifetime Solutions. You can trust your roof to us. Lifetime Solutions.
Lifetime Solutions. You can trust your roof to us.
Yeah, babe. Ray, we now leaving here and we real hungry. Food? Hey, fellas. So food ready?
Jack.
But like my baby spent whole day cooking, now that's a table to be proud of.
And only the best for my baby. Rainbow corned beef, darling. Rainbow corned beef.
Located at number 8 Forest Avenue, Coquille Village, San Fernando, Comfort Cooling is the ideal choice for all your residential and commercial air conditioning needs.
York International is proud to announce that Comfort Cooling is our authorized dealer for all mini splits manufactured by York. We are confident that Comfort Cooling has the qualified engineers and technicians to do the design and installation of our units.
So, give us a call at 652-6378.
And now a summary of the main international stories of today.
He says the regime is collapsing on all fronts and calls on others to defect.
The regime is collapsing morally, financially and militarily. It only holds 30% of Syrian land.
A recession looming for Europe. The latest figures show the Eurozone economy slipping into reverse gear. As their fellow protesters face prison, members of the anti-Putin band Pussy Riot tell the BBC from their hiding place they will fight on. Outraged by a draft constitution which describes women as complementary, not equal to men.
Those movements are threatening women's rights, and so now we're here to defend them and to show that we will not lower our guards.
And tributes to the life of Helen Gurley Brown, author of the groundbreaking book Sex and the Single Girl.
Need fishing gear? Yes, we have that too. With over 60 years experience, fishing rods, garden tools, paint, product spare parts, plumbing, bathroom, lumber, steel, and all other hardware supplies at competitive prices. Southern Wholesale Stores Limited. Visit our website or come in today at 185 Union Road, Marabella. Southern Wholesale Stores Limited. More than just a hardware.
Enjoy hassle-free shopping at South's premier beauty store, One Stop Beauty Essentials. They carry a wide range of leading brands and personal care products at reasonable prices, including cosmetics, fragrances, and everything for your nails and hair. 100% Remy, human and synthetic wigs, weaves, and braids are also available. Shop in comfort at One Stop Beauty Essentials, your one-stop beauty shop, conveniently located at 52 Sutton Street, San Fernando. Secure parking available. Like them on Facebook or call 652-0080.
Just never had a lot of toys. His bike was basically all he had. He rode that bike and rode that bike and rode that bike. Now look at him, speeding all over the world, representing his country. I'm proud of my son, making local history, even making world history. What are you proud about? Tell us on Twitter by tweeting to #I4TNT.
Where there's love for country, there's energy. Where there's energy, there's BPTT.
As we go, let's bring you the final results of tonight's Your Vote. The question you voted on: are you satisfied with the relief efforts so far in Diego Martin and Western Trinidad following Saturday's floods? The final result: 98% of you voted in yes, while 2% of you voted in no. We now come to the end of the 7 o'clock news here on CNC3. Thank you so much for your company. I'm Charlene Ramdani.
And I'm Samson Anton. Have a good night.
America's Got Talent live next here on NBC.